you have to be holistic, right? It's the whole individual. And for me, faith becomes powerful when it's when it's a living faith, right? When you are living the faith, which means that like it's who you are. This is not something you are putting on. This is who you are. And I'm not saying you don't put it on, but I mean it in the sense that like it springs from within as well. The way our faith says you believe in your heart and you confess with your mouth. So you have actually experienced God firsthand. That's why I told you my story at the beginning. I grew up in a man's, which means I grew up in church, but I experienced God firsthand and saw God work with me as a matter of personal choice. So you then find that like that then informs everything I do, and I will then relate it to a number of practical ways. So one of the things I find, which I talked about earlier, but I'd like to repeat and emphasize, is the power of prayer, the power of just bringing God into everything, literally everything. Even on this podcast, I love it when you say, let's pray to start. But I can tell you that like, I just love to bring God into everything. A prayer in my heart. I tell people, whether I'm ministering in a church or in a marketplace or anywhere, that like, I can't think of any time when I've invited God into a situation and I didn't get a response. So it becomes almost irrational not to invite him. Why would I go on when there's a God that is willing to partner with me and be present in my situation and walk through the journey with me, and I don't bring him in? Now, that then leads me to the second thing that, I find that like when you are seeking to please God and to honor God in the marketplace, the Bible says God honors those that honor him. 1 Samuel 2:30. If you honor God, God will honor you. And I find that like, even in honoring God, in doing the things that I like to say, I want to be one with God. I love to love what he loves. I want to hate what he hates. You talked about love when you were talking about this. If one can bring that sense of loving obedience to your work, and just, be godly values, honestly. And you're not doing it to be religious. You are doing it because, first of all, it pays when you work with people. And he knows what I'm talking about. Like, when you treat people well, they'll treat you well. Particularly if you are competent. You see, there's no reason to be insecure if you know where you're going. I just had a negotiation before this, and I was trying to invite somebody to work with us on a project I'm working on. And, we went through the negotiation. I kept checking myself. Am I being fair to this person? And I felt I was being fair. And I explained to them why I thought this was the way to go. And eventually Richard landed. And I'm happy and that happened. And even when I finished, I still went through the, just replaying in my head, is this the way to work with this person? And I think it's win-win. And I honestly believe the relationship is going to work out very well. And by the way, I learned this. I wasn't always like this. So my faith has also grown. What do I mean by that? I come from a background where I like margin of safety. So even in investments, I want to get a low price and all that. But I've learned, just like the great investors in our field, the Warren Buffetts and Charles Mungers of this world will tell you, they've learned to go from deep value investing to quality investing. You get a better return. Quality relationships, quality win-win partnerships, you get a better return. So that's something I view as practical Christianity as well.